this meeting of the IT Committee to order on Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Take a roll call. Alan Baker.
Here.
Bob Carroll.
Yeah, I'm here.
Amar Clark is not yet here. Bob Hassinger.
I'm here.
And Dave Robbins is present. So we are all present and accounted for. I don't think we're expecting Evan, although he was invited. Anyway, let's, where'd I put my agenda? First item on our agenda is, as usual, public input. We do not seem to have any attendees on Zoom, and unless one of us has something to contribute that counts as public input, we will proceed to our next agenda item. The next agenda item being updates, if any, on ongoing projects. I did ask Evan where we're at with the Office 365 conversion. And where is his? Evan indicates that the conversion is mostly complete with only a few small issues to resolve. One of the things that we noted on our previous meeting was some problems with some of the mailing lists. I was asked to provide some updates for the 3 different mailing lists that I'm involved with, and I provided those. And for the most part, I think the mailing lists are working. I think between Evan and William and maybe Cindy at the office there, they've said that they think they have all the mailing lists working.
This is where you sent 2 messages, one direct and one through the list.
Yes.
Should I have seen 2 messages?
This would have been probably 3 weeks ago, but yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe I didn't look far enough back, but
Let me see here.
So depending
I
on
didn't get it, I know.
So I was going to say, depending on the mail server, if you have a single mail message that has both an individual email address as well as them being a member of a list that's part of that server, it may only send the message once as an efficiency. A lot of email systems do that. So you may actually have to send 2 separate messages, one to the list and one to an individual for it to get 2 messages.
Well, the reason I asked is because I don't think I saw 2 messages. So, if you're checking your list, there's your input, and you know as much as you did before.
Yeah, I'll have to double check on that. I know I checked off. I've got back when I did this, I should probably redo this again, because when I did this at the time I did it, I got confirmation from, I think, all of you that at that time you had not received it via the mailing list. And I think subsequently, I haven't gone and back and rechecked that again. I do know that the email I sent out on Monday, I did receive it via the mailing list.
Yeah, because you did not send
I didn't
it to
try to
yourself.
confirm that everybody did.
Yeah, you didn't send it to yourself. So if you received it via the mailing list, it wouldn't have reduced it to 1 message. So you receiving it that way probably does indicate that the mailing list is working. Just to verify, it's probably, you probably just send a message to the mailing list individually, and if we get it, that would kind of verify that.
Yeah, I think I'll want to. I do want to circle back and now that they claim the mailing list is working, I should validate that. Like I said, I did validate that for the bylaw committee mailing list, but I haven't reconfirmed that. I think back when I sent all those out, I sent it out to all 3 lists, and I got kind of information from the bylaw committee mailing list at that time, but the other 2 mailing lists weren't working so well at that time. So it's probably worth me reconfirming that. So that's all I have from Evan on the Office 365 conversion. I also asked Evan where we're at with the town meeting clickers, which we talked about a little bit at the last meeting. And his update for me on that was the new clickers are ordered. The Meridia, the company, is already set to be at the October 16th town meeting with everything in place. So we're confirmed that we will be using the clickers there. Evan mentions that we have requested access to the software, don't have it yet, but should have it shortly, presumably in time to be prepared for a town meeting, one would hope. But that's the update on the clickers. And that's all I have.
I tell you what, I'll give you an update on how the clickers are working a little bit later this month. Just let me know. I'll let you know how it's going.
All righty. And the other ongoing project that we've talked about off and on is the public Wi-Fi project. Bob Hassinger, you've been working on that. I don't know if there's anything new to report on it.
Nothing new. I'm not sure. My communication loops are less than perfect with some of the players and some of the projects. In any case, I have the feeling that maybe someone wants to no, never mind. Anyway, I don't have anything new. The last I saw, they all are waiting for a follow-up from the vendor from Comtract on what they found. Not sure. Did I report here that they had? We had to go around, and what the engineer that I met with and went around town with was working from was not the current drawings. So he had proposed construction that wouldn't be needed because we already constructed. So he was supposed to come back out and go back to the places I said, look at it again with what's current on their records on their end.
So he was still working with those older drawings that you had shared with me a while back.
It sounded to me like he was pretty much on that set of drawings. I think he must have poked around someplace in the archives, and they keep that on. They have a contract every year. They do. They're responsible for maintenance and so on and so on. So they have to have some records that are up to date. But it turned out that the boss, who all this has gone through all the years, was more aware of what had been done when we had our conversation. He knew we had done this and so. But no more to report.
So that's it for that one. And the next agenda item was just sort of a generic update from the town administrator, but Evan didn't have anything more. Bob Carroll. My screen, something flipped to my screen. I just realized it was Bob's hand raised.
Hey, sorry, on the previous item. So I saw that, or I see that, Alan, you sent out the minutes. And you sent the minutes, you had the DL in there, and then you also sent it to our distinct emails. And so I got therefore 2 emails. So the DL is working. Sorry for the out of order here. I just was catching up on the minutes.
Yep.
Does that happen to you folks? Did you get 2 emails from Alan?
I think so.
Yeah, I may have.
This was 5:57. That's when I got it.
I got 0 emails from Alan, if that matters.
You're saying today, 5:57?
Yeah, earlier today.
I don't have any mail around that time.
You sent it from Gmail.
Well, I have a reminder for the meeting sent from Zoom at 5:55. And, well, wait a minute, here. No, here are the minutes. 5:56.
Yep,
Yep.
you have two of them?
As far as I can
emails?
tell, right.
I
As far
got-
as I can tell, I only got the one directly from Alan.
I only got one message. Yeah, well, yeah. But it's addressed, CC'd to the tech committee list and Bob Carroll, Amar, and me. So, whatever that tells you.
Well, it tells me, at least for me, that the DL's working, right?
What?
I
Yeah.
Sure.
think the easiest way to handle it would be probably just to send out an email to the DL only and not to individuals as well, and then verify that people received it.
Yeah, it's worth, it's worth verifying. I'll use a procedure similar to what I did like 3 weeks ago, which was 2 different emails. Because if I send one to the list asking you to respond if you get it, when I get no response, I don't know if you didn't bother to respond, you saw it but didn't respond, or didn't get it. But yeah, we'll double check, because sometimes my email client, I really can't tell if it sees what it thinks are duplicate emails. It might not show that I got both of them. But I know that I can say that the one I sent out on Monday to the mailing list, I got it back via the mailing list, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it back at all. But I do have it received in my inbox. So that one came through the mailing list. But yeah, my experience with the mailing list had been that it was sort of hit and miss. On one time it would work, the next time it wouldn't. I had one, I think it was last week, one that I sent out to the open space committee mailing list, and it bounced back saying it couldn't be delivered. I sent another one later on from me to that mailing list, and it flowed through. So that's, I mean, the delivery failure it had was when it attempted to contact the mail server for Verizon, the connection, that I think it was a socket connection failure or something like that. So there may still be some issues with those mailing lists. So that I'll make a note of myself to recheck that.
Can you do the mailing lists so that a reply only goes back to the sender? I'm on some mailing lists. When I reply, I'm replying to the list. Now the sender is the list. And that means it goes to everybody. Where we have public bodies here that have to have quorums and whatnot. I often push that messages be sent BCC to all of the members, so that if they reply, it only goes to the originator. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, let me just. Take a quick look. Well, here. So the email that I sent to the IT committee mailing list comes to me as though it was sent to me. So if I reply to it now, if
Yeah,
I simply,
I got both of those too, David.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's, yeah, when it goes through the mailing list and you reply, the reply is to the mailing list. And I don't know if we have any control over that.
Well, if we're gonna have town body mailing lists, we should be covering that base. Either, well, either do it or don't do it, or fix it, or say it's okay, or, you know, whatever. But you see what I'm saying? Every message needs to have a don't send substantive discussion on.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you may have people that don't get them, right, that they are missing out.
That's not really. I don't think that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Dave sends something out, here's blah, 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 within our scope of responsibility. I reply with an opinion about it, and it goes to all of you because of the mailing list. That's a no-no under the open meeting law. That's
Right.
whatever discussion outside of a posted meeting.
Okay. No, I was referring to the initial contact, Bob, where Dave would send something out on a DL, right? And not everyone gets it. So it doesn't even make it to you yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying one of
No, I
my
get the point.
it's one of my little hot buttons. So
No, I got it. Okay. So it is
right,
what it
anything
is.
else on the mailing list or Office 365 or town meeting clickers or public Wi-Fi? If not, then the next agenda item was update from town administrator, but Evan didn't have anything that he wanted to bring to our attention. Other than me asking him what the current status was of the things we've already talked about. So we have no further update from the town administrator at this point. And our next agenda item would be the previous meeting minutes, which Alan circulated about an hour before the meeting. Did everybody get that?
I move acceptance as submitted. I guess not.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as drafted.
So,
Any discussion?
I saw in here, Alan, on the third bullet, and I think you just copied this down from what they said, but my understanding is 2012 R2 is like end of support is like today. Not later this year.
It may be, like you said, I copied down what was said in the meeting. And so it was probably that they said that during, I'm not sure when the end of support on that is,
Yeah.
but it was probably what was stated during the meeting from the IT contractor.
Well,
Which I
if-
guess technically today is later in the year from last month.
Yes, that's just the point I was gonna make. If end of support was 30th of September or 1st of October, then at the time of that discussion later this year would have been correct.
Okay. So it's October 10.
October
So-
10th.
Okay. So I guess we're good.
That's good. That still qualifies as later this year, but by the time most people get around to reading this minutes, if they do, it will be, that date will have passed. But minutes correctly capture what was stated during the meeting.
Yeah. So I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Baker,
Aye.
Mr. Carroll,
Carol votes aye.
Mr. Hassinger,
Aye.
Mr. Robbins votes aye. The motion carried unanimously. The minutes are approved. And as usual, while the agenda lists possible executive session, there are in fact no topics that require an executive session this evening.
So
Which brings us to the last agenda item.
Well, that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that this meeting be adjourned. I'd love to say all those in favor, but I have to call the roll. Mr. Baker,
Aye.
Mr. Carroll,
Carol's eye.
Mr. Hassinger,
Aye.
and Mr. Robbins votes aye. Motion carried unanimously. We are adjourned.